when the beat drops out.
Hey guys, so Daisy5 Gaming here bringing another video. Today I wanted to visit a really cool free game on Steam called Ghost in the Shell standalone alpha, I think is what it is, because it's still sort of in development. This is a really cool game. I've put a few hours into it so far, around 3 or 4 hours. I haven't put too much time into it, but enough to get the real feel of the game. And honestly, I'm really enjoying this game. It's a good break from Call of Duty. All the jumping and just Call of Duty's felt very the same over the past few years. It's I'm sort of getting a little tired of Call of Duty, and I'm looking for other games to branch out to. And currently, right now, I don't actually have the money to buy new games like Battlefield, and I really want to play Deus Ex Mankind Divided, but I just don't have the money to do that right now. So I was looking at free games, and this was one of the ones that popped up. First off, this is a multiplayer only game. It's a multiplayer shooter. There's 3 or 4 different game modes. There's sort of like a search and destroy, which they call demolition. There's sort of a off of, if you ever played Call of Duty World at War, it's called War, where you sort of, both teams go after the middle of the match and they try to capture the flag, and then whoever captures that flag, they proceed to get closer and closer to the enemy's spawn, and then they keep capturing that flag, and whichever one keeps the flags captured down and gets all the way to the enemy spawn, then that's the team that wins. And then there's just your standard team deathmatch. I highly suggest that they add like a free-for-all mode, like maybe a 10-player free-for-all. I don't know how well that would work with the size of these maps. The spawn killing would be ridiculous. They just happened to add a new map too. It's a pretty cool map. It's got 2 buses in the middle that you can go into, and it's basically symmetrical down the middle. Both the spawns are the same, and this map is actually surprisingly easy to spawn trap on, which is my only one nitpick with it. If they do something like this, I suggest that they should do what Dirty Bomb did and make it so that the enemies can't get directly into where your spawn is, because then they can easily spawn trap you. I know there's spawn protection, but that doesn't completely prevent spawn killing. Now let's talk about some negatives. The menu, or the user interface slash, you know, the screen that you dealing with before you get into a game and everything, is very crowded and clunky, and there's stuff everywhere, and not everything's very easy to get to and easy to understand, which took me some time to get used to it. I'm not saying it, I'm not saying I'm dumb, and I'm not saying it takes, you know, a super smart person to deal with it. I'm just saying it takes some time to get used to, and it's not just your it's not just your standard, you can very easily understand it user interface. Sorry, I'm running out of breath. I tend to talk fast when I do these. Another thing is the graphics in the game are okay. I'm not saying they're bad, and I have everything maxed out, but they could be better. They're focusing, right now the devs are focusing on adding more content, but I'm really looking forward to them upgrading the graphics and make it look maybe at least at the level of Dirty Bomb. Dirty Bomb's a free game too, and some people say it's pay to win, whatever, but that at least has some okay slash good graphics. This game has good graphics too, but it definitely could be better. Maybe they can move it to another engine, like a really good engine, like Unity or something like that. Unity 5, I think it is, or Unity 3 or whatever's out, the newest one. That looks really nice. Next is gun balancing. Gun balancing is pretty good. I've learned by picking up weapons and just dealing with different weapons that each gun you pick up, there is a certain play style. Submachine guns are specifically meant for close to medium range. Assault rifles, with the exception of assault rifles, those are practically every range. Close range, it sort of varies because when you zoom in, it blocks half of your screen basically, and it's hard to see. But the hip fire on assault rifles is very tight, and it's very easy to get close range kills with assault rifles, which is one nitpick that I would suggest they adjust and make it not as good, make assault rifles not as good up close. But assault rifles are good at long, medium, and close range. LMGs, those are mainly good like at close range. Just walk around and hip fire with them. That might sound pretty gay. But LMGs are just a spray down machine. Shotguns, another thing, that's another close range gun. They can handle range pretty okay. It's usually a 2-shot kill to where its maximum range is. So whatever its maximum range is, it's usually a 2-shot aiming kill. I don't know what the hip fire kill is though. Another thing, each character slash specialist, I don't know exactly what they're called, is balanced pretty well. None of them seem to be super overpowered. There might be some that are super vital that your team might really want. Like I didn't take enough time to learn their names. But one of them does like a wall hack pulse, and he can see guys through walls. He's very vital to your team. And what's cool about this is if 3 teammates get together and all of their skills are ready, then you can hit E on your keyboard and you can do a skill sync, which means you'll share your skill, and or your teammates will share their skills with you, and you'll be able to use their skill while using your skill, or you can use your skill and they can use your skill while you're using yours. So this game is sort of very teamwork oriented if you do it correctly. You'll see my gameplays. I don't actually do too much teamwork. I have a bad habit of just going off and doing stuff on my own. And I think very like one-way streeted when I play video games. It's focus on myself, don't worry about the team, which really annoys me sometimes because I can't get it through my head that I can't play the same for every game. The other thing is, this is one of my favorite things about this game, which might seem very odd because it's not something super cool or revolutionary, but I love when the match is loading that you can roam around the map that you're about to play on while the map is loading, or maybe while it's just letting you warm up. But this is how I learned the maps. The maps are fairly easy to learn, but that loading in 30, 50 seconds, I don't remember exactly what it is, but that gives you the time to walk around the map and roam around the map and check out what's going on. I think that other game developers and other companies should take this and add it into their games. AAA games like Call of Duty and Battlefield could strongly benefit from this. And I know it takes a while to load those maps, which is why there's such a long loading time, but they could take the approach that Ghost in the Shell did and just put basic textures over everything and just make it so that it's sort of the physical, like you run into it type thing. The other thing is the server selection / area selection is pretty good. I wish every game had that, so when you hopped on a new game, you could choose what sort of area you're from, like US East, US West, places like that. That's really good. It helps you reduce your latency, so it restricts match finding to only those servers. Or if you want to play with your friends that are, say, in the UK or something, you can make the game look for like a UK server, which won't be the best for latency or ping or anything. But say you want to play with your friends, you can force it to connect to like a UK server. Another thing, you can spend money in this game to essentially get every gun and attachment in the game, but guns are very obtainable without having to spend real life money. Just by playing the game, you can get enough money to buy any gun you want and the attachments that you want in the game, and you can. It's not pay to win at all. You could take the shortcut route, but like I said, it's very easy and very obtainable. Just put some time in the game, and you'll be able to buy the guns you want, and you'll be able to buy the attachments that you want to go on the guns. Another cool thing about the game is each attachment has a positive and a negative. No matter how big that positive is or how small that negative is, each one has a positive and a negative. You can have 5 attachments on your gun at a time, which is pretty awesome. And let's see. It's pretty cool because each attachment's dynamic, and it's not like every game that's out there. Like if you put a round drum magazine on your M4, then it'll slow down your like your speed around the map, and I believe it also reduces your stability. Another thing is, what's really cool about the game is you can get, at the end of the match, there's this sort of like pick a random, I don't know exactly what they are, but you choose like a random, it's like a scratch off ticket. You know how there's 3 scratch offs, and you scratch one off, and then whatever you scratch off is what you win. It's sort of that. I always choose the middle one just to keep it like normal. I don't know, I just always choose the middle one. And you can get upgrade chips and XP bonuses and money bonuses from these and all kinds of stuff, even though most of the time it's usually plus 10% XP, which is what I almost always get. But I've gotten GP, I believe is what it's called, bonuses, which is what the in-game money you use. And I've also gotten these cool character upgrade chips, which you add to each of your characters slash specialists, or whatever you want to call them, to make each one different. That means that each character out there in the game on the field will be very individual and very different, and each one will play differently even if you have the same ability, which I find great. Like, I just got a strafing one, which makes me able to strafe faster, but it reduces my jump cooldown time, which is also pretty awesome. So you can't be super overpowered and do everything the same that everybody else can. You'll all be different. Something else that they probably should add in the game is skill-based matchmaking. I jumped into my first match, and I was up against some guys that had put many hours into this game, and I was sort of getting wrecked right as I was playing. But I got used to the game pretty quick, and I was able to equally match their level just because I've played FPS games on the PC a lot. But if somebody new coming to PC gaming were to, say, go against them and there's no skill-based matchmaking, then they would have absolutely gotten wrecked. One thing you'll notice is headshots in this gameplay. Headshots are key. Headshots, I believe it's a 1 or 2 shot headshot at any range. Close and medium range with an assault rifle is a 1-shot headshot. Long range is a 2-shot headshot. It is ridiculous the damage headshots do. And it's just like Rainbow Six Siege, headshots are key. That's why the tight hipfire spread with assault rifles is so good in close range, because all you gotta do is hip fire around the head and bam, they're dead instantly. Another thing about that is it's good and bad. You could walk around the corner and you could just get instantly headshotted and die, or you could walk around the corner and you could instantly headshot one and they could die. Or you could get, a collateral headshot, and it's as easy as that, in taking out 2 or 3 enemies with 1 or 2 bullets. Another thing that's cool about this game, this doesn't actually have to do with the game, but I've never been a big anime guy. I've never really liked to watch anime. I've always found that, I guess there's just a stereotype with anime that it's like, if you watch anime, then you're just associated with people that are stereotypically called nerds, I guess, even though I would even consider myself a nerd. But they just look at you differently if you watch anime, so I've never really watched it. Plus, I just find some of it a little weird. But playing this game has really sparked my interest to watch anime, and I am currently going to watch the Ghost in the Shell series. Because this game sparked off of a TV show, which is pretty cool. So, Oh my gosh, it's hot in here. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to watch the TV show for Ghost in the Shell, which is another interesting thing. I just really wanted to watch anime now because of this. I've never really been a big anime guy, so I just figured that was interesting. We need more games like this. Not that Spark Anime. This is a overall good game. It's a free game on Steam. It's got good content. It's got a lot. It's got I keep saying it's got. It has enough maps to keep you interested. They're easy to learn maps. There's game modes that if you've really ever played any multiplayer shooter, then you know what the game modes are and you'll pick them up very quickly. And there's a wide player base. There's a lot of people playing, and the servers are good. I have a 5 ping on the US East server because I'm in Virginia, of course, which is on the east coast of the United States. And I have a very good ping to the server. It's always 5. So that strongly benefits to how I play also. Something that you guys might want to take note of is the developers are actively updating this game. They're currently looking for more content to add to the game, and their blog is open to ideas that you guys can submit to them. I'll leave the link in the description. So they want your help with the game. They want to make the game to how you guys want the game made. So they're looking for your support and your ideas for the game, and I will be sharing my ideas with them too. Speaking of ideas for more characters slash specialists slash operators slash whatever you want to call them. A medic. You don't naturally generate health, and a medic would be vital to any team if they could throw down a med pack or throw it to someone and they could slowly heal, or throw someone something and they instantly heal, or they slowly heal by gaining health, sort of like Battlefield does. Or they could throw it down and it could be like a sort of area of effect, or maybe like a pulse regen that only regenerates maybe 10 or 20 health, maybe 30, or brings you back to full health, like full health if you're around that teammate. Ammo too. You go through ammo quick if you're on long kill streaks, and I've found that I had to pick up some guns sometimes that I wasn't used to, and I tried playing differently. Like I said, each gun plays differently, and I wasn't used to playing differently, so I got killed right after I picked up a new gun because I just wasn't used to it. So lost where I was. So just an ammo would be very vital too. A medic and ammo guy would be very beneficial to your team in winning. Another one, just thinking like an odd character, maybe a character for 5 or 10 seconds. Make it so your guns have no recoil. Essentially, I wouldn't say like the aimbot character off of Overwatch. I don't know his name. I think it's Soldier 76. I'm not saying like that, but maybe just no recoil at all. So if you have good aim, then it'll be sort of like a laser beam right on, no recoil for 5 to 10 seconds, and that might also be a viable character. I don't know how well that would be balanced with, say, light machine guns. But I guess we'll see. Another thing, add more guns. There's 2 sniper rifles. There's no different pistols, and I don't believe there's any different melee weapons. I haven't checked the melee weapons. I probably should have. But there's no different pistols. There's a few submachine guns. I believe there's 2 or 3. There's a few MGs. I believe there's 2 or 3. And there's a few assault rifles. I think there's 4 or 5. And I think there's 2 shotguns. I don't know for sure. So I also had another idea for the game, which is add active gun building. Sort of like the gunsmith from Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I was thinking, I've always wanted a game where there's thousands of different variations of guns you can have in the game. No player is going to always have the same gun, no matter what really, unless it just so happens, but it's rare. Where you can make your own gun and it'll always look different. Each part you put on your gun will make it look different. I was hoping Black Ops 3, when I saw that Gunsmith was going to be announced, that it was going to be like that, but it's very hard to make your gun stand out. because you don't seem to get the gun variant attachment variants and supply drops enough, which will be probably for another video. But so just make it so, say you can have a different looking long barrel, not long barrel because there's not a long barrel in this game, but different looking barrels that do the same thing and different looking barrels that don't do the same thing. Just variants of barrels that are out there for you, variants of grips that are out there for you that do the same thing and look different, and variants of barrels that don't do the same thing and look different, or don't do the same thing but look the same. Just different looking things that will make your gun stand out and really cool. There's also cool paint jobs in the game, which I was pretty happy to see, but you do have to pay IRL money for those, so I didn't really get to use them. To wrap this video up, the only really big problem I have with the game was really the menu. The menu really annoyed me. It's very clunky and it's very hard to find stuff right when I got into the game. And it was very frustrating for me. I got it now. I'm not saying I'm stupid. I'm not saying it takes a genius to figure it out. It was just pretty annoying, and it's not sort of like every other menu that's out there for games. So that's the only thing that I think should be fixed. Dumb it down a little bit, make it simpler, is really the gist of it. I think that's it for this video. So the game is Ghost in the Shell. It's a really good game. I highly suggest you play it. I'm going to be sinking a lot of time into this game. It's a phenomenal game. Kudos to the developers. They're doing a really good job, and I'm glad that they kept the game free and it's not a pay-to-win game. They did a really good approach with this, and it's fairly balanced, and they're going in the right direction. They're going to be a very successful game developer company. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check out this game, and if you have any ideas for this game after playing, make sure you check out the developer blog that I will leave in the description. That's just about it for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. I am Soapseason5. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.